time now for Media Watch. James Creedon joins us. We're looking at reaction online to the horrific killings in the French Alps near the lake at Annecy there. 4 people found shot dead in a car. One child, James, of course, wounded in the shoulder with a gunshot wound, and it's believed she was beaten too. She's critically ill in hospital. And of course, that 4-year-old child found trapped underneath, hiding underneath one of the dead women in the car, there for 8 hours.
It's a horrific story, Mark, and it has captured the attention of the British media, the French media. Even as early as this morning, the British papers were leading on this story. We can see here The Sun, 4 Brits gunned down. Now, it didn't make the French papers in their front pages this morning, but the story did grow as the day went on and as details began to emerge. Still, of course, very unclear as to what exactly happened, but that was the front page of The Sun this morning. If we go on to Twitter and the social media, you have people from in and around Annecy reacting. This goes back to the early hours of this morning when the news came out. Annecy, everyone here is shocked by the shootings. What could be the motivation for such brutality in such a normally peaceful spot? I think a lot of people reacting like that.
It is a beautiful part of the world. It's renowned for family activities, for peaceful retreats, and for outdoor activities. And then you see that kind of thing happening. It's just horrific. Isn't it?
Another person with a similar tweet here, pretty shocked about the shooting at Annecy. Way too close to home, so unexpected and terribly sad for the 2 little girls. A lot of people obviously reacting to the tragedy of what happened to those 2 little girls. One being seriously injured, and the other in that horrendous situation where she was stuck in the car for 8 hours, probably one would imagine in a state of shock of some kind or other. Can't stop thinking about the 4-year-old found in the car near Annecy, and indeed The Sun and other media picking up on that as well, how she was found alive under the corpses. Lots of questions as well, Mark, as of course you've been looking at des zones d'ombre, as Le Monde says. For example, how she could have been left for 8 hours in that car. I suppose technical reasons behind that, crews coming over from Paris to inspect the site, and also the motive. I suppose that's the biggest question hanging over it, and I think really there are no answers to that for now, only speculation, and you find all sorts of speculation online.
Going back to the 4-year-old child, that poor mite, sort of trapped where she was, presumably keeping quiet because her mother told her to keep quiet because there was a man shooting at them and she didn't want her to get hurt. I mean, one can only, as we're just normal people, to think if you're in the position of those police officers and you were told, sort of to just basically secure the scene, not touch anything, not look at anything, it must be going over in your own mind, maybe you shouldn't have listened to those orders. You should have looked in the car at least and tried to see something. But if the girl was hidden, the girl was hidden. I think it's impossible to imagine how this has happened.
It defies basic human common sense. How could you not look in the window of the car and see a child moving around?
Now, the theories about what happened, of course, it's said on the internet that the man who's believed to be the father was at one point linked to the Iraqi nuclear program, although he was forced to work on it. He comes to this country, he's something of a whiz kid, something of a genius in telecommunications technology. There are all kinds of theories coming up about why he may have been targeted by somebody.
I'll show you some of the tweets with that speculation. This is a tweet in French. Iraqi engineer, professional army man, all of the family targeted. The first witness was a former RAF man. This stinks of Secret Service activity from 15 kilometres away. That's one person's take on things. Another tweet here, father in Annecy, gun shooting is Iraqi. Aviation and aerospace consultant Asad Al-Hili. Story starting to look like a spy thriller. And another person here saying...
It has that feel about it, that sort of MI5 type of thing, doesn't it? I'm talking about the sort of TV sort of programme, if you like. But I mean, certainly the gentleman cyclist who discovered the scene, was an RAF veteran. I mean, that could just be a coincidence.
It could be a pure coincidence, but I suppose people, with these stories, there's so many
But it stokes the fire of theory, doesn't it? And
that's right. Now, 2 other aspects to show you, Mark. First of all, Le Point, which is a news weekly here in France, they're harking back to 1952. Now, this was the Dominici affair, as it was called, when kind of similarly 3 British people, a family, father, mother and daughter, were gunned down in Haute-Provence in the Alpes region, and that was never actually resolved, that case. It's a case that's kind of gone down in murder mystery lore in France. Dominici was the principal suspect. A guy called Jack Drummond was he and his wife Anne and Elizabeth, daughter, were the 3 victims. In any case, that was never resolved. A guy called Gaston Dominici was arrested at the time. He was even convicted, but then cleared of the crimes, and actually a lot of suspicion at the time that it was a spy that Jack Drummond was a spy killed by the Soviets. So you're seeing online some speculation about that kind of stuff as well. Obviously, no proof at all. And just to finish with the Daily Telegraph, if I could pull it up here, a lot of the British papers are, of course, as would be expected, going to the neighbourhood in Surrey where this man lived for over 20 years. And the neighbours were unanimous in saying that he was a lovely man, the family were a loving family, lovely people, and that it's unthinkable he had no enemies, as the headline says there. He's no tinker, sailor, soldier, spy. So those who knew him in the locality just cannot understand how this could have happened to him and his family.
And of course, the fact of the matter, 2 girls tonight in hospital, both orphans because of this horrific tragedy.
Absolutely, very sad stuff.
Thoughts with them.
Yeah.
James, thank you very much indeed.
Thanks,
James
Mark.
Creedon with that look of what's been said online about the shooting in Annecy. We're taking a quick break now. After that, we're back with more news and some sport for you, as well as culture, looking at the launch of an exhibition featuring the work of the French photojournalist Rémi Ochlik. Stay with us.